We are in the middle of one of the biggest cultural shifts of our time, and it's changing our relationship to our food. This is not some momentary fad dreamed up by radical vegetarians, and ironically, it is being driven by the biggest players. For instance, Monsanto is constantly in the news, whether it's the European Union trying to ban GMOs or about the millions of dollars Monsanto is spending to squash GMO labeling. The harder they resist and fight, the more awareness they create among consumers about GMOs, pesticides, and herbicides. It would take millions of dollars in advertising to create this kind of awareness, which they are providing for free. The second major driving force is technology. The Internet is leveling the playing field. If one individual shoots a video of animal abuse on a hog farm and posts it on YouTube, and it gets 10 million views within a few weeks, public awareness begins to shift faster than any advertising ever dared dream. As more people learn where their food comes from, they begin to understand why the bees are dying and why we are obese, diabetic, and prone to cancer. And they are demanding alternatives. But there's a huge obstacle in delivering those alternatives. The food service distribution systems are late in coming to the table. Many natural and organic products have to be sourced from smaller suppliers, and many of those suppliers have traditionally concentrated on the retail grocery side of the business. Currently, organic foods make up about 4% of our food industry. 4%. Doesn't sound like much, does it? Well, in the late 90s, a company called Apple Computer had only 4% of the personal computer market. Yet Apple continued to embrace the changes in how we use computers, where we buy our music and how we listen to it, how we communicate with one another. By constantly innovating, Apple became the most valued public company on earth. 4% is only the beginning. Organic is here to stay, and it represents the fastest growing segment of the food industry. And the innovators are cashing in, while the old, we've always done it this way companies are struggling to keep up. Think about craft beers, the fastest growing segment of the beer industry. Almost unheard of not that long ago, they have captured over 11% of the total industry sales, and they are still growing. Meanwhile, the big breweries are stagnating and losing market share like crazy. The entire business landscape is littered with companies who fail to read the signs. In the food service industry, operators have not been able to meet the demand for natural and organic products. Even the very successful chains like Chipotle have had difficulty sourcing their offerings from many small suppliers. This is both inefficient and costly, and this is precisely where innovation is possible.